Chapter 17. Mizuki, over here. Naruto waved at me with a big grin on his face as I approached him and Sasuke. Sasuke merely nodded at me as we continued to walk inside. Shooting exams. Here we come. As we entered, we saw two guys hit down a boy in a weird green suit and an absolute horrible haircut. You're trying to take the Journey exams with that kind of level? Maybe you should just quit, kids. The guy said next. Please let us get through. A girl with buns on her head muttered softly, but she ended up being punched as well. What did you say? Listen up. We're being kind to you. The junior exams is incredibly difficult, and we've seen those who gave up and become a ninja, or becoming seriously injured taking this exam. What's wrong with shifting out those who aren't going to pass anyway? That's a sound argument, but I will pass, and undo the genjutsu you created. I must give you the floor. Sasuke interrupted them. Oh, you noticed? Okay, guy spoke to him. Mizuki, you probably noticed first. You're the smartest of the team, Sasuke. Then looked at me. Oops. I didn't even really notice, but I kept bringing down my reputation. Of course, I noticed. We're all standing on the second floor. I said, trying to sound like I knew all along. Smooth. One of those two guys did release a genjutsu for some reason. Went to kick Sasuke, who was ready to counter his own kick, but the green thing flashed between them and caught both of their legs. He's fast. The other teammates stopped and looked at illiterate. Hey, you broke the promise. You're the one who didn't want to draw attention by doing anything that stands out. The ding then turned to me. My name is Rock Lee, and you are Mizuki-chan, right? You lose to Kakashi. I awkwardly nodded. Since Kakashi is eternal rival with Gai Sensei, you're my eternal rival. He then proceeded to strike some ridiculous poses. I murmured as I slowly stopped behind Sasuke and Naruto. We really don't have to be eternal rivals. Luckily, his teammate decided to step in and save me from the embarrassment. Hey you, identify yourself. I glanced to Naruto to see him muttering something about Sasuke, who gets all the attention or something. You're supposed to identify yourself before you act, Sasuke answered simply before walking away. I excused myself to go to the toilet for a bit. As I walked, I suddenly crashed into something and fell very gracefully on my ass. Watch where you're going, a cold voice said. I looked up to see Gaara, also desert turned down me with a dark aura surrounding him. I smiled awkwardly at him, up at him before standing up. Hi Gaara, I didn't see you. I'm sorry, did I hurt you? He looked at me strangely before walking around me. You didn't even help me up. When I returned to my teammates, I saw Sasuke beating up at the ground, and Lee being reprimanded by a turtle. What did I miss? Instantly, an older version of a Greek name appeared on top of the turtle, who accidentally turns out to be his sensei. Then his sensei punched Lee in the face, ran back to him, then both started crying and hugging. At this point, I just gave up trying to understand what was happening and just blankly stared for Mitsuki. Boy, Mitsuki, we're going. I slowly blinked to see Naruto waving his hand in front of my face. Let's go. Naruto, Mizuki, Sasuke said suddenly appearing somewhat excited for the journey zones for an unknown reason. I nodded and, and followed him and Naruto to get entrance of the hall to the journey zones. We first came across Kakashi in a small room. I'm glad you all decided to take the exams. I'm proud of you, Kakashi ruffled my hair. And so I briefly tried his hands and so I prodded his hands away. Now go out there and show me what you can do. We nodded determined to get through the exams. We did grant on the charter before stepping into the entrance hall. The room was filled with all kinds of ninja staring at us creepily. When they noticed we were just kids, they decided we're not worth their attention. Sasuke, you're here. And ran out and looked very annoyed Sasuke. I chuckled behind my hand as he knew he was trying to get rid of a blonde girl. He glared at me for laughing at him instead of helping him. We were then greeted by the other rookies who tried to argue really loudly. I noticed the entry hall was stirring at us noise. I stretched up and I slowly stepped away from the group, trying not to be a part of it. I saw the girl with buns waved at me and decided to talk with her as soon as the exam started. She turned out to be really nice and we became friends. As the mainly as any moral note it could be. They entered and assigned the rules of the first exam. Basically, it was a written test. You have to answer 10 questions while you're being watched by the juniors, and if you was caught cheating too often, you failed, as well as your entry team. Also, your grades as a team. So we are absolutely screwed. Me sat next to the grab ninja. Me who was next to some grass ninjas. And behind me sat Gara, Sasuke, and Naruto, who was having a mental breakdown. Both sat in front of me. As we headed the stats, I soon noticed that these questions is definitely not something that a gaming or even a tuning could answer. After living in the dark, I came to the conclusion that we actually had to cheat to complete the exams. It's a real test is about grabbing information without being noticed. I smoked or realized this. I started thinking of a way to cheat. I suddenly glanced around the room to see Sasuke using a shotgun to cheat. Two guys a little bit in front of me actually failing their test and Naruto freaking out. I closed my eyes and slowly moved towards the portal of water across the ceiling. And see was where I needed to be, and I froze it. I created a mirror, and then tried filling in it says, hold up, pause. I know these projectors see glass appearing out of nowhere, mirrors appearing out of nowhere, and a giant eyeball appearing around the class. I don't even know. This is Amy I talk about. Like, they have sounds a good story. I want to know why. Because you're on the exam saying catch everybody in that room. That was stupid. I still never caught that. I'm gonna get back to the story now. A little while after, a sand eye started hovering around me, recognizing it as Gara. I moved my arms in front of the paper so that I had a clear view of my test. As it finished watching, and a saga eye hovered around me once more in gratitude, I think. I smiled at it. A few minutes later, the session ended, and the 10th question was about to be announced. Before I announced the 10th question, there's one thing I need to say. There will be one special rule for this last section. This is a hopeless rule. First, you're going to choose to do wish to take the 10th problem or not. Moral is to be said in a menacing glance through the room. Choose what happens if you don't take the 10th question, Samara asked. Easy to be smirked at her. If you choose not to take it, your points will be reduced to zero. In other words, You failed. Your two teammates will fail alongside with you. And here's the other rule: if you refuse to take it, you get it wrong. You lose the privilege to take the journey exams forward. My eyes went slightly as complaints were united around the room. So I guess this test I have nothing to do with the physical pressure then. I'm not afraid to take the question, but what about Naruto? Several teams tried to drop it out. As well, I noticed Naruto was slowly lifting his head. I hugged my head down and accepted this. Maybe this was for the best. But then he slammed his head down on the desk. Screw you. I'm not going to run away. Even even if I become a genie forever, I'm going to become Hokage no matter what. I'm not scared. I lifted my head and smiled softly. Naruto words appreciated to lift everyone's spirits, and people stopped dropping out. Then I asked you one last time. This choice will impact your life. If you want to quit now, it's a chance. Nobody dropped out and easily stepped forward again. Nice determination for his first exam. Everyone has passed. I see. While easily answered various questions, a purple hair woman suddenly broke through the glass window. Everybody, there's no time to be happy. I'm the secondary examiner, Metro Uncle. Let's go to the next exam. Follow me. We all try to blink. Sarah blinked at her gaps the atmosphere. It easily said under her son appearance. Easily. You let 26 teams pass. The first exam must have been too soft. Oh well. I'm those to make more than half of the scenes fall in the next I'm getting excited. I will explain the details tomorrow. We will go somewhere else. So you ask your joining teachers about the real life points in time. That's all. Dismissed. Eliminated half the teams. This is going to be fun. Not. End of chapter 17. Chapter 18. This sure is a creepy place, Tintin said, with a shiver visibly went down her spine. We were right now standing in front of Training Down 44, aka the Forest of Death, to start the second phase of the exam. Just to be sure, I bought a water flash, which I hung from my belt. You will soon realize why this is a place called the Forest of Death, Uncle our instructor chuckled. Now also tried to immediately mock him, saying how he wasn't scared at all, except for Uncle grinned, really, and weirdly drew a kunai, which scratched Naruto's cheek. He then appeared behind Naruto. This is all happened in the blink of an eye. As this wasn't creepy enough, she licked the blood from his feet. And to top it off, a grass ninja with an absolutely huge tongue gave her the kunai back. Thank you, bud. Don't tell him behind me thirsty for blood if you don't want to quick death. Uncle glared back at the grass ninja, while bloodlust turned radiating of them. The grass ninja again licked his slash her lips. I couldn't really tell. Lips. Well, it's my nature to act up at the sight of red blood. My precious. Hair was cute, so I got excited. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, since there was a long explanation, I'm going to narrow it down for you first. Firstly, we had a sign affirms that the villagers wasn't responsible for any possible death. Then she explained the rules of every team got out, either Earth or Heaven Scroll. To pass the test, you have to get both scrolls inside in the middle of the forest. You were not allowed to open the scrolls before arriving in storage. You got 5 days to complete the test. As soon as our teams got our Heaven Scroll, we went starting gate. The start gate went off. The start sign went off, and we immediately dashed to the forest. Not even 5 minutes into the test, streams echoed throughout the forest. A hassle and shiver went down my spine. This place is creeping me out. Sasuke glared at me and smirked. You don't have to be afraid with someone like me here, he said cockily. And I glared at him while I saw Naruto pulling down his zipper while muttering I have to pee. Naruto, please go. And go somewhere I can't see you. I smiled at him. He grinned at me and went into some bushes. That was a lot of refreshing. I didn't really want to know that. As I looked closely, I noticed that his cut on his cheek was gone, and his leg thing was now his left leg instead of his right. I looked at Sasuke, who slowly nodded at me. I pushed Naruto in the face, then I flashback behind Naruto. I would take this back, sending him flying back to Sasuke, who then proceeded to kick him up. What are you doing all of a sudden? He asked, crawling into a fetal position. What? Why do you ask? That my that my line is it? Where's the real Naruto? Sasuke asked. I have no idea what you're talking about. The fake Naruto is now turning again. I stepped forward with my eyes narrowing at Naruto. What happened to the stretch of her face? And also, your kunai house shirt is on your left leg. Naruto's right-handed. The fake Naruto transformed back into his real self, a weird guy with a grass mask and a hideous suit. Unlucky, you got me in that case. Which if you have to scroll. If you listen readily, I'll spare your lives. Sasuke didn't waste any time and shot some powerballs at him while I went down and freed and tied up Naruto. As we returned, Sasuke had his shard knife at the red hush blazing, but the other guy unfortunately got away. If there's if three of us get separated, don't trust anyone. I don't like one of us. There's a possibility that an enemy will transform into one of us and approach us, so I made a password. And a different password given. Assume that the enemy, no matter what, looks like. Got it. Now, why I looked at each other hesitantly as I nodded at Sasuke. I'm only going to say this once. Listen carefully. First, you ask Ninja Song Nikki. Then answer the following. Is it a good chance for the large numbers of enemies are making sense? There is no hideout. Even in a quiet place, it's important for a ninja to know the right time and the time his enemy is tired and has his guard down. That's it. I thought it was a password, not a pass hurry. I marked softly. Sasuke obviously hurt me and gave me a pointed look. Can you say it one more time? Naruto looked absolutely brain fried. Obviously not capable of remembering anything. Not that I could remember. I say I'm only going to say it once. Well, that was that. As soon as Sasuke grabbed the scroll, we were attacked by a creepy grass ninja who tried a bunch of wind at us. Sasuke grabbed my arm and put me behind the trees. I thanked him with a gracious smile. Hey everyone, are you okay? Naruto came running towards us. I asked if Patrick restrained me and peacefully, so it wasn't Naruto for obvious reasons. I smacked the kunai at him and he barely dodged. He then proved me to a creepy gas ninja. Why do you use a shorter patcher if you lose the team as such an idiot? I knew you were eavesdropping on our conversation inside the ground, so that's why I made a long passer. I looked at Sasuke with a slight endurance. Oh, he's smart. He's smarter than I thought. Look like I can't have more fun than I expected. You want my Earth Scroll, right? Since you have to have the scroll, the ninja grabbed her Earth Scroll and tried it. I pulled into a different dimension. I saw myself dying as I stepped up, but then cut my arms and snapped out of it. Apparently, Sasuke had the same idea. Sasuke acted his shotgun to try attacking a creepy girl, but she was too good and dodged all of his attacks. I decided it was time for me to step in. I pulled out my friend's swords. I shot him with lightning and ran at the woman, attempting to stab her back, but she turned around in the last second and blocked my attack. I jumped back, charting waving head signs. Lightning sound, lightning dragon. As my jutsu went down after she made an earth, rolled my jutsu crashes through it, destroying it completely. Her eyes flattened as she quickly dodged my jutsu. The jutsu crashed to the trees. She then flashed in front of me and slashed aside me, but I blocked with my swords in an S position. You're better than I expected, little girl. That jutsu had some power. You're able to block my attack. Pretty good too. She smiled at me, licking her lips again, but forcibly veering away from my plan. She pulled back and tried to wave a hand sign and said an almost impossible speed, Earth style, spirit kaizen. Fair band of Earth tried to pop it out. It were down towards me really fast. I quickly jumped to get higher, instantly panicking. Mizuki, watch out! I heard Sasuke yell, Rory launching his tongue. I looked up inside the grass ninja hovering in front of me. Crap, too late. Wind style. Great breakthrough. A huge amount of wind smacked into me and blew me away. I crashed my back to shatter the trees painfully. And chapter 18.